Do you remember these books from your childhood called The Berenstain Bears? If so, there's two things. Number one, you're having a false memory, and number two, you're not alone. Yes, it's true. The Berenstain Bears didn't exist. It was the Berenstain Bears, spelled Stain. That's the way it's always been, but many of us have no recollection of this. We remember it being Stein. So this is something called the Mandela effect. It's where a group of people collectively have a memory of something that didn't exist. And I know this is kind of a random example because these are just children's books, but it seems to be the case. I certainly don't remember them being Stein. But it's not just limited to these books. There are quite a few other examples. Here's one. The Monopoly Man never wore a monocle. That's right. The whole time he was just completely without any eyeglasses or a monocle at all. This could be because we collectively confused the Monopoly Man with the Planter's Peanut, who definitely had a monocle. They were both sort of classy gentlemen from the same era, I think. But in any event, that's another example of the Mandela effect, where a group of people collectively have a memory of something that didn't exist. And that thing that didn't exist here is the Monopoly Man with a monocle. Another example of this would be Curious George. So another children's book. I had the books. Yeah, I definitely had the books. And I also had remember seeing the cartoons. But I remember Curious George having a tail. He looks weird without a tail. But apparently, Curious George never did have a tail. And if you Google him, you won't find any images of him with a tail. He was walking around tailless, kind of like a little Homo sapien, a little human being. But that's not how I remember it, and apparently other people don't remember that either. Another example is that old cartoon show Looney Tunes. I could swear to you that it was always Looney Tunes, Toons. But apparently that's also not true and was never true. It's Looney Tunes, Tunes, like a tune that you would play on the radio or something, Looney Tunes, which doesn't seem to make any sense to me because it wasn't just funny songs you were listening to. It was a TV show with cartoons, hence the Toons. But that's another example of something that many people remember differently. So what's going on here? Is this proof of a parallel universe, that we were in some kind of different dimension years ago that doesn't exist anymore? I don't know about that. That sounds a little far-fetched. I think it's more likely things that were perhaps easily confused, that many people kind of got confused at one time, like Berenstain Bears. I don't know anybody named Stain as part of the last name. Berenstain sounds weird. So a lot of us, when we heard that, our brains just kind of instantly thought Berenstain, and that's probably where we get this memory. Although it is really remarkable how profound that recollection is, because I could swear to you that it was Stein. And being a little kid, I'm learning how to spell things. It seems like I would have noticed that it was Stain. But I certainly never did. So, but that's my hypothesis. I think it was just something that was easy to mix up that a lot of people have in common. And same thing goes for the Monopoly guy and the Peanuts dude. I mean, monocles are little classy pieces of eyewear that we would, I guess, associate with the Monopoly Man. But that was never the case. But again, and something else that's easy to confuse. And then Looney Tunes, I mean, that's weird, right? Tunes. I mean, you think about Bugs Bunny, Elmer Fudd, these are like the prototypical cartoons, hence the Toons spelling. So another thing that's easy to confuse. So there you go. I want to know what you guys think. Do you also find it quite strange that there was no such thing as the Berenstain Bears, that it was always the Berenstain Bears? If so, let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for checking out this video, and I'll see you guys next time.